Predator is back, baby. Okay, and I don't mean in the movie Prey. No, I reviewed that last week. I'm talking about the new comic from Marvel. Yes, which I'm going to talk about now. So let's talk about it. Okay, so welcome back to the channel, everyone. If you're new, please consider hitting the subscribe button. Come and join the channel. I do a wealth of content based around films, comic books, collectibles, Blu-rays, physical media, all that sort of stuff. Maybe for you. But anyway, so Predator as a comic book. Now, as a comic book franchise, Predator was always published by Dark Horse Comics. Dark Horse Comics had the rights to the Predator and the Alien franchises for a long, long time. I'm talking about since the early 90s, maybe about 1990 even. And they were the first ones to do Alien vs Predator, which led to the Aliens vs Predator films. But obviously, a few years ago, Disney bought Fox. Aliens and Predator owned by Fox, and thusly Dark Horse stopped publishing, had to stop publishing when the contracts run out, the Aliens and the Predator comics, and they've gone back under Marvel. Now, Marvel were meant to release this comic some time ago, but then it got withheld. They decided to hold it back. A lot of the variant covers that were done for different comics, which I have here, like that Amazing Spider-Man cover there, Captain America cover there, and Jane Foster Mighty Thor cover there, all Predator variants. These sort of covers were advertised some time back, but they never come to pass. Basically, Marvel held off until the release of Prey. So Prey came out 1 week ago, and within that week, the new Predator comic was released to maximise sales, obviously. So obviously I was going to pick it up. I'm a big fan of the Predator franchise. I've read a lot of the other Predator comics, not all of them, but a lot of them. I do have the omnibus editions, as well as the very early Predator comics individually. So I want to talk about this here, issue 1 from Marvel. Now this comic here comes at us. Let's see who it's written by and all that stuff. I shall tell you if I can find it. So this comic comes at us written by Ed Bryson, artist Kev Walker, colorist Frank D'Armata, and letterer VC's Clayton Cowles, with a cover by Leniel Francis Yu and Sonny Cho. Is that this cover? Is this the Leniel Francis Yu cover? I do know him as an artist. But yes, so this comic here, this is set in the year 2056. And the comic starts, the story of the comic starts with two predators battling it out, having a fight on this alien planet. One predator beheads another predator. Only then, when the winning predator removes its mask, it's uncovered that it's not a predator, it's actually a human girl. And we then get into flashbacks before getting a page that gives us a bit of history about the predator and tells us that this 6-part story is called Day of the Hunter. And here it goes through all of the 1987, 1997, 2010, 2018, and what's happened in the 4 films, not including Prey. And this story then jumps back to the year 2041, where we are introduced to this young girl called Theta, who is on an alien planet with her parents who are exploring this planet. They're sort of like scientists, so to speak, and they get attacked. Her father gets killed and her mother drags her back to the spaceship. And we have 2 stories interwoven throughout this issue. One story set in the present day of the comic and one story set in the past, in the context of the comic, when she was a young girl. And we find out that she's on this revenge kick and she's in this ship and she's basically hunting predators. She's hunting certain predators. She's after the predator that has killed her father and her mother, which we come to find out as the story progresses. In the flashbacks, we find out that her ship is attacked by this predator. Everyone on board is killed because they will go out attacking it. It kills her mother, and her as a young girl managed to swipe at it with a knife or a sort of a machete type thing and chop off one of its mandibles. So she's hunting down a predator that's got 3 mandibles. So every time she kills one, she knows it ain't the one that she killed because it moves differently, and it's got 4 mandibles. So we find out that her ship is in a sort of state of disrepair, and it's just her and the ship's artificial intelligence, so to speak, on board. It's just them two together hunting down predator. But she has to go to this place where she can have the ship repaired and get some stuff. She has taken bits from other predator spacecraft, and she has got a map of the hunting grounds for the predators, and this sort of a thing, and she can go to the planets that she expects them to be at and all this sort of stuff. And that leads us into this story. At the end of the story, we get the ship crashing, and it's crashed in a sort of Arctic kind of condition, snowy landscape, and she's going to have to trudge her way in the next issue to the place she needs to be to get the stuff to repair the ship. So my thoughts on this here comic. So I was intrigued. I quite liked what I was reading. I thought it was far better than what it was going to be. Now, the problem with Predator, and the same goes for Alien within a comic, is it's very difficult to get a liking for the characters, the human characters within, because that's the crux of the story. You've got to like and root for the humans within the story. If that doesn't work, all you're left with is a predator hunting people. And that might work for you. I mean, I've got no issue reading a Predator comic from the Predator's point of view if they've done that sort of a thing. But they don't. It's always the sort of human that needs to go up against the Predator and ultimately win, which does become a bit tiresome of a story trope. But regardless, this has got very nice artwork in it. I did like that. It's nicely paced as a comic. The flitting between the 2 time zones works well within a comic, and there's a sort of mirroring of story, especially towards the end of it with the crash and the death of the mother and this sort of a thing. I'm not sure about this character, this main character, the fact that she's on this vengeance quest and she feels she has to be travelling this... You know, I don't know. That sort of story used to grip me when I was younger, I suppose, but now it's very sort of it ain't as gripping as what it used to be. There needs to be something more that grips you than just a vengeance spree. There's got to be more to it. But you know, certainly a comic that I would I'm going to collect and read. I may sound a bit critical, but this is an issue 1. It's the first issue. You know, we're going to open up into more story as the comic progresses, and thusly, hopefully more will happen. But there we go. So, issue 1 of Marvel's The Predator. Well worth a read. Better than what I expected Marvel to have produced in both the art department and the storytelling. So, thumbs up, all good. This is AJ. Consider hitting the subscribe button. Come and join the channel. I'll review issue 2 when I get that, when it comes out. And we'll talk Predator. Let me know down below. Let me know about your thoughts on the movie Prey. Or have you read the Dark Horse comic Predators? What did you think of them? Anything like that. For any discussion down below. Hit the subscribe button. Come join the channel. See you on the next one. Take care all, and goodbye.